Greetings, fellow electrical engineers. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Oxygen Not Included Bionics. Episode 2, Cyborgs Yearning for Power. Alright, the next most urgent thing that we're going to need to manage is most likely power. Running on manual generators isn't great long term, so we're going to want a few things before we rush to power. I guess I'll finish ventilation. It's already 2/3 done. But then we'll start working on power. So this is their scheduled downtime. And then in a minute, you'll see their defrag time. So here, Tanuki, for instance, is filling up his internal oxygen tanks by sucking all the oxygen out of the area. And we're going to want an oxygen diffuser to replace some of the oxygen that's being pulled out of the room. So we'll start diffusing oxygen. Right there is fine. So now they are defragging. And during defragging, they program microchips, and it produces a microchip every 150 seconds. So this is their sleep cycle. And if they had bedrooms, they'd be going to their bedrooms to defrag in their bedrooms and gaining the benefit of a bedroom. I didn't build them cots, as morale is not an issue right now, but eventually we're going to want bedrooms for them so that they can get the morale bonus for it. Cheers! And Gas Engine, thank you for the resub. Alright, on these bins, I'm going to set all standards, except for boosters. And power banks. No boosters and no power banks in there. So we didn't get a full... Oh, actually, we got a microchip. So for that microchip, let's get a digging booster. A digging booster allows you to dig hard, and then the extreme digging booster allows you to dig very hard, which would be like abyssalite. And diamond. I don't actually see any abyssalite right now, so we'll have to explore to find some. But abyssalite's going to be a very important resource for us to get early on, because that allows us to make renewable energy. So ventilation just got done. I don't really intend to use it immediately. What we want is to work on power. So I'll probably need to get the advanced research to get the power that I want, but we're going to at least need a rock crusher for refined metals. And then coal generator will be a stopgap early on too. I also like to pair the coal generators with a smart battery and automation wires, so we're not burning coal pointlessly. So there's a lot of research to get initially. And the sound amplifiers for the smart battery require advanced research. So the first thing I want to do is to research advanced research so that we can research the smart batteries. Basically, I want to do a proper coal generating smart battery power control station setup rather than something piecemeal. So that's the research tree from here on out. And shield, if you're wondering, and I know the overlay is covering it a little bit. Let me hide it for just a moment. If you take a look at his status now, or his bio, you can see because of the, well, actually, oh no, he's an overnight. You can see that he has a science of 5 with that booster that I installed. That's one of the things I love about the Bionics, as I mentioned before, is that you can change their configurations very easily, setting them up to be exactly what you need. And you only really have to consider the bugs that they're born with, which certainly makes it very, very easy to get great duplicants perfectly suited to your colony, rather than to have to pass on 99% of the duplicants that you're offered because they're just not great. It's a really big difference. Okay, we just researched what? Ventilation? No. The metal power bank pattern, wood heater, crafting station, water cooler. So we started off with a crafting station because we're Bionic. You get it, the crafting station, the metal power bank blueprint kind of for free due to having Bionic duplicants, so that you're not like bottlenecked in technology and die early on. So now we are researching advanced research. And we need to decide where our generators are going to go. The coal-fired generators produce a lot of carbon dioxide, and carbon dioxide is easiest to deal with when it pools to the bottom of your base. So I'm going to create like a little trough here for the carbon dioxide to naturally pool to. And I'm actually going to redesign this little airlock. It's not really an airlock, but this this area here so that the carbon dioxide pools better. And the ladder instead will go here. Which means this area here might be a pretty good spot for the coal-fired generators for my power station. I'll probably put a pneumatic door right here. That way the carbon dioxide is already very close to where the carbon skimmer is going to be. And I don't have to, you know, wait for the carbon dioxide to settle out through the entire base. It will just pool here quickly. So the advanced research station is now done, and I can build a supercomputer. Supercomputer allows you to get access to the advanced research, and then as a result of having a supercomputer, it would be ideal if I enclosed this area so that it can become a laboratory, that it has the bonuses for a lab. So if you open up the rooms overlay up here, and you scroll all the way down to a laboratory, it needs a light source, which in this case will be the printing pod, because the printing pod produces light at the cost of no power, which is great, and 2 science buildings. So the supercomputer and the regular computer are both science buildings, and as long as it doesn't have industrial machinery, like this manual generator, which it doesn't, it satisfies the needs, so this will be a proper laboratory. So now that that is researched, let's go ahead and start to get power regulation and internal combustion. And really soon, we will no longer be relying on a manual generator to generate power, which means that Tanuki won't have to run on the wheel. It's going to be pretty nice. Now, it's warning me that I have insufficient oxygen generation, and that's because the gas pressure around the diffuser is at maximum, And I did mention this before, but what would help with that is airflow tiles. So I'm going to pause on the power generation to get airflow tiles, because as you can see, if I open up the materials overlay for gas, we have carbon dioxide pooling here. Even though it's heavier than oxygen, it should pool down here. So in order to fix that, I'm going to dig a 2-wide vertical tunnel and to add airflow tiles in and around this area so that gas can freely flow from top down and down up. That way all the carbon dioxide pools down here so that I can skim it and clean it and turn it back into oxygen. Did we end up getting the chip made? Yes. So I have digging booster. All right, Jazz Lover, you are a crop tender. You're probably not going to do a lot of crop tending, so I'm going to do the digging booster for you. And as a result of priorities, Jazz, as soon as you install that, will be higher priority digging and attacking. The digging booster adds attack as well. So if we take a look at Jazz Lover, his config, the digging booster gives athletics and excavation, and enables very firm material mining, which would be stuff like granite. So he's the only one that can mine this granite. So this is where my coal generators are going to go. And one coal generator is going to be for the base, and one coal generator is going to be for renewable battery recharge. And this will make more sense in a minute. Do boosters give hats? Yes, you could get hats. So I'm going to replace some of the flooring with airflow tiles so that gas can free flow around. And then also, this should be a lab. Yes, it is. So there's an efficiency bonus now for this room. All right, so now that I have the airflow tiles, let's go back and start to get the power generation. And I might actually, you know what? I'm going to get pharmacology really quickly, because what ends up happening is if you run out of gear oil, which we've already run half of our gear oil out, you lose a massive amount of athletics, meaning that you can't move around freely and you grind to a halt, and that would be really bad. So we already have pumpable gunk, so if I added a pharmacology station here, that would protect us from having ground gears. Now, as they skill up, and here the skill tree of the Bionics, they have a different skill tree than normal. As they skill up, you can get improved gears to reduce the penalty for grinding gears, which I'll probably end up getting, because trying to get proper lubricating oil early on means that you have to hit crude oil, which is hard to do early game. But for their skills, they unlock booster slots, athletics, booster slots with exosuit penalty reduction, athletics and soldering station usage, booster slots, athletics, extra power banks, athletics and booster slots, and reduction in the grinding gears penalty. So there's a bunch of different skills, but the skills are all the same from duplicant to duplicant that are bionic. And each skill you unlock increases the morale requirement, which is why morale management for the Bionics are important. So you can have powerful bionic. When my megajoules get to about, let's say, 500 kilojoules instead of a megajoule, I'm also going to be concerned about making metal power banks to keep our guys powered up. All right, that was fast. So here's the apothecary. And the apothecary is going to allow us to make gear balm as a stopgap measure until we get proper lubrication. All right, so with that, let's get back to internal combustion and then sound amplifiers. The advanced research station has no power? Yes, it is not powered yet. The cable isn't built. So no one in the colony right now has medicine compounding skill, which means we cannot make gear bomb. Normally, gear bomb requires gunk, which we have 75 kilograms of it available to us through this pump, and water, which we have plenty of due to this pump. So getting someone that knows medicine is going to be important early on, which is a advanced medical booster, which will be made here once we do have one more microchip. So the microchip that we unlock can be unlocked through the power control station or through just deprogramming or defragging our mines for sleep cycles. Both would work just fine. And the plan is to have 2 coal generators, the power control station here, and then on the opposite side, over yonder, is where I'm going to put our battery rechargers, but we don't have battery rechargers right yet, so I don't need to rush that. But that will be on the other side, so that we can recharge batteries rather than have to make new ones every day. And I'm about 720 kilojoules, so we have enough power for now. Plus, you can't forget, or, I mean, I guess you could, but... Here you have, like, Jazz Lover, who has 2 internal power banks. Shield with 2, and Tanuki with 2. And they use about 120 kilojoules per day. So, the kilojoules that I have available is about a day, a little bit more than a day's worth for all 3 of us. Ooh, our first skill point. So... let's see. I don't yet have grinding gears, so I think I'm best off going for schematics so that I get more athletics, so that my duplicants move around more quickly. Normally, organics will level up their athletics just through running around, but bionics never do. So you need to level up bionics through chips and through skills. And there is our last skill for schematics. So all 3 got schematics. And they still have hats. So, for instance, Tanuki is our electrical engineer. I'll give him an electrical engineer hat. Shield is our researcher. Give him a research hat. And then Jazz Lover is our digger. Give him a digging hat. And they're happy about that. So here's their downtime. Their second downtime ever, where they remove gunk, eat power banks. So now, as you can see, the kilojoules for the power banks available suck. Speaking of suck, they will take oxygen. And with these airflow tiles, it's going to be a little bit more easy for the oxygen to diffuse into the rest of the base. And then after that, they are going to do the defrags, giving me microchips. So one of the microchips is going to go to advanced medical boost. And the other one is, I might not use the other microchips just yet, because I'll probably want it for a soldering station. Let's see if there's something printable. No. Okay, give me salt water, I guess. So we have no jewels available. But in their internal power banks, I think all of them have 4. So just shy of 4 days worth of power. So let's go ahead and make 12 metal power banks to bring our joules back up. And this, a lot of things in Oxygen Not Included, like, can't be created or destroyed. But in this case, that is not the case. When you use up a power bank, it's destroyed. It's gone. The copper that went into it is gone. It's like eaten by the Bionics. So that's why copper early game is so important, because you go through a lot of batteries until you learn how to recharge them. And, ooh, we have our first polluted water vent. Gross. I was hoping for, like, hydrogen or natural gas, but alright. Piss water. Cool. Thanks, game, for the piss water. There is abyssalite here, though. No one knows how to dig it yet, but abyssalite is the ingredient for rechargeable batteries, so I'll be working on getting a soldering station once I have power for the abyssalite for rechargeable batteries. Magic, thank you for the bits. Cheers, dude. So we're very close to having sound amplifiers so that we can get the power control station, the power bank recharger, which recharges empty eco batteries into fully charged eco batteries, and the eco battery power pattern, which is made on the soldering station. And then after that, we're going to need brute force refinement in order to make refined metals. And then we're also going to need automation wires to hook up for the smart battery. And I'll explain why once I get there. It's going to be easier to show once I have it. So this is the soldering station, which is like the upgraded crafting station. Oh, actually, there might be a... Oh, no, there isn't an alternative skin. Okay. That wasn't good. Pumping water and letting it drop. Okie dokie. And as a result of the airflow tiles, here as you can see, the carbon dioxide really has pooled down here, which is going to be useful. We do have some pooling carbon dioxide elsewhere, but it's just trapped because of the slope of the map. I'm not too worried about this stuff. I wouldn't really count this as in the base. It's just natural map terrain. Research complete for sound amplifiers. So sound amplifiers gives you a smart battery. And the smart battery is really important because normally when you have power generators that are not like hamster wheels, a coal generator will just keep burning coal even if there's nowhere to put the power. And a smart battery can tell the generator to turn off, which is why I wanted to get smart batteries. Need new research focus, so let's go and grab brute force refinement so that we can make refined metals, which is required by automation wires and the smart battery. And also the power control station, I suppose, as well. And over here, we are making the metal power banks, and you can see the joules available going up. It's a little annoying for Tanuki to have to make metal power banks because the crafting table requires power, and then he has to like run the wheel, go to the crafting table, run the wheel, go to the crafting table. But I put the two next to one another for that reason. So here is the Eco Power Banks, which converts Abyssalite into an Eco Power Bank, allowing us to recharge batteries instead. And then the soldering station has the advanced chips. So one of the first advanced chips that we're going to want is the Extreme Digging Booster, but it takes 8 microchips instead of 2. So it's a bit of a stretch, but once we get some more microchips, either from defragging or from the power control station, we'll put that to good use and get an Extreme Digging chip, which allows us to mine Abyssalite to make rechargeable batteries. Alright, no research focus. That means we got brute force refinement. So the last part of the control station will be interior decor, which leads to automation wires. Why? I don't really know. Why I guess this includes lamps and ceiling lamps, but it's a kind of a funny prerequisite power. And the rock crusher is... I'll just put it up here. Oops, I ran out of metals. I will eventually put it up there, right next to the soldering station. Let's get some more metals. Because if we run out of metals, we run out of power. If we run out of power, we die. Arsenal, thank you for the resub. So here's the rock crusher, which will refine copper for us into refined copper, so that we can make chips, tune up coal generators, make the sound amplifiers, make the automation wires, all that good stuff. In terms of priority, let's finish this stuff. And then in terms of smart batteries, I don't really care where they go. They could actually go below the power station. Maybe that's actually not the worst spot for them. If that's the case, it will technically be part of the base. So I'll just change around the floors and the walls to have access to it without having to run around. Which then also means airflow tiles. So we're back up to more than a megajoule of power available to our duplicants. We did just get automation wires, so everything I need for proper power is obtained, research-wise. So now it's just a matter of getting the rock crusher, refining metals, and building the infrastructure for smart power grid. So after they're done with those two, this is the next highest priority, getting the rock crusher up. And if you have any questions about what I'm currently doing, feel free to ask. If you need clarification, etc. So we only have one more metal bank to craft, but that should fulfill our power needs for, I don't know, 3-4 more days or so. And the coal generators are not plugged in, so they're not going to be running. They don't run when there's nowhere to put power. Okay, all the power banks are done. Great. Just waiting on the rock crusher. So there is computer desks down here and a little ancient facility. Results for Automacon. Everything went well. Rustard was reluctant at first, but she has little alternative given the nature of her work and the recent turn of events. She could begin at your convenience. Wait, Joshua? You read Devon's blog? Oh, cool. Devon's writing a new post of Toast of the Town. Yeah, so this is just like flavor text. It's too bad. I was hoping for, like, clothing or something. But if I have to settle for old computer desks, so be it. I'm going to stop digging this ladder, as it's all not important right now to have this vertical ladder. I'm going to focus on building inside the base. So the rock crusher's done. And I'm going to queue up, let's say, 20 copper to be refined. It's kind of a lot, but I'm sure we're going to use it. And I'm going to set the rock crusher up to priority 6, so that it's slightly above the 5 priority. Things go from 1 to 9, 9 being the most, and 1 being the least. So with all this refined metal, I'll be setting up smart batteries, 1 for each of these coal generators, and then automation wires to plug them in. Is this actually their downtime? It is. Okay. So they're degunking. And now that they've degunked a little bit, I do have the ability to make gear balm. So I'm actually going to make gear balm forever. I'm going to make as much of it as I can. So that we can lubricate our gears. Until, of course, I get proper crude oil lubrication. Or phyto oil lubrication. One or the other. But probably crude oil. So we're about half... We had 10 days of gear oil to start. We had 200 kilograms of it, and we're down to about 100 kilograms of it. Blueprints. Well, that's really weird. It's offering me to print another Jazz Lover. In this case, I don't really like over-engineered as a bionic bug. Because it's a decreased construction, and construction is one of those things you often do a lot of. So in this case, I'll probably go with the oxyfern seed. Turtle, thank you for the bits. Pleasure to see you again today. I'm looking to see if there's any other geysers or whatever. No, none that I can spot. Too many jazz lovers, never a good thing. We'll have a whole damn jazz lounge if this continues. So we're going to get 3 more microchips from the defragging tonight. But that's not enough to get the extreme digging here. I also... Oh, no, I don't have the Flido researched yet, so I don't need to cover that. But because they don't have bedrooms, they're just like defragging wherever the hell. Which is fine. Oh, you know what? Disallow tinkering. Don't tune these up with the microchips. Doesn't really make sense to do right now. Did I make an advanced medical? Maybe? Yes. Okay, so, we'll have Shield also be the advanced medical booster. So he'll have research and med. So I just gave him a medical booster. So if we take a look at him, he can do medicine, and let's give him the medicine cap. No, I'll keep the research cap. Which means he's going to be able to make gear balm now from the apothecary. Here he goes, cooking up some gear balm, keeping us lubed up. I'm trying to rush to get the smart battery and the automation wires so that I don't have to keep running on this wheel. It's still the priority, of course, because of how annoying it is to go wheel, rock crusher, rail, rock crusher. It sucks. I know it sucks. So I'll put the smart battery right here and run a wire straight to it. Oh, you know what? So the tuned up coal generators generate more than a kilowatt of power, I think. No, they go up to 8. What do they go up to? 800? If I have to have heavier wires, I'll do that with, I forget its tuned up amount. So we need about 200 more, 250 more refined metals in order to get this running. Alright, this has no power connect, consumers, so I'm gonna turn it off. In fact, I'll turn the other one off too. Louie, thank you for the bits. And then I'm gonna want an automation wire. Oh, I don't have any power, refined metal right now. And we'll do the automation wire for this yellow, just for fun. Yeah, I think it's 800 when they're tuned up. I'll double check. If it exceeds a kilowatt, then I'll have to change this design, but I'm not concerned. It won't take long to change it. So this is probably, this construction project, the most important in the base right now. So that I can stop running on this stupid wheel. Like I'm Sisyphus or something. So the smart battery. When it drops to 15% power, it will send a green signal to the coal generator to turn on. And when it reaches, let's say, 95%, it will turn off. I could do 100%, but I'd rather just keep it to 95. Just because sometimes there's not enough room for a full, like, cycle to add. So it's set up with abundance of caution to prevent running inefficiently. And the coal generator is now on. It's enabled by the automation grid. So if we take a look at the automation grid, the battery is saying, hey, I am less than 95% charged. Charge me up. Yeah, there you go. Actually, I'm going to reduce this a little bit more because this battery actually topped up to 20 kilojoules. So I'm going to say only go up to, like, let's say 80%. Just because I don't want to waste coal. And in that way, I can just disable this manual generator. I don't need it anymore. And also, I'm going to deconstruct this battery as well at some point. I'll do that now. Because this battery produces heat and is not part of the smart battery network. Or I don't need it as part of the smart battery network. Thank you for tuning in to Oxygen Not Included Bionic Booster Pack DLC Marathon, which originally streamed live on Twitch February 15th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below, but please keep in mind I asked for no backseating, and also feedback cannot be incorporated because the entire series was already streamed once as a marathon. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow duplicants.